Max Verstappen on pole, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, welcome to discuss here about the Austrian Grand Prix. Yes, as I've mentioned yesterday, Max Verstappen did get his car on pole, Red Bull ahead of Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. It was quite an interesting qualifying, very entertaining. A lot took place. But before we get into it, people, thank you for joining me on this video. Do me a favor, smash the like button on this video and comment your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what you guys are saying about this Grand Prix. Are you guys ready for the sprint race today that's taking place today? Are you not ready for the race on Sunday? It was quite action-packed. Let's get into certain things. I mean, look, we can talk about Q1 very, very quickly. Both Aston Martins out in Q1 yet again, ladies and gentlemen. Zhou Guanyu did not have a good weekend whatsoever. It was not looking great for him. And of course, Nicholas Latifi, bog standard, you know what I'm saying? The Williams out in Q1. There's nothing new to talk about there. But my man, Danny Ricciardo, yet again, ladies and gentlemen. Danny Ricciardo yet again out in Q1. It's getting very frustrating. Lando Norris out in Q2, who finished in 15th place. So Lando Norris 15th, Danny Ricciardo 16th for the McLaren boys. That's how we're going to be starting our sprint race today, which is going to be very, very frustrating to watch. I'm not really in the mood, nor am I ready to watch and face what's going to take place today or this weekend. I thought Austria would be nice for us. I was expecting, you know, the McLaren boys to be up in Q3 at least, and maybe fighting for podiums when it comes to the race weekend. But unfortunately, you know, they are both out there. Sergio Perez had a weird one as well. You know, he got done for track limits. Track limits seem to be the talk of the town as well today. I mean, we haven't heard of track limit in ages. Not like the last season where it was all about track limits. But this time round, it seemed like, you know, here we are again. We're back talking about track limits. And Sergio Perez did get caught out in that. He had an investigation after the lap he had done. He got himself up into P4, I think it was, in Q3, and yet they bummed him all the way back into Q2, finishing in 13th place. Alex Albon, let's talk about it, man. Alex Albon, P11 in that Williams, man. Big up to Alex Albon. He's had a good Friday, it must be said. And of course, you know, contrasting for Williams, wasn't it? Because Albon gets into 10th place, whereas Latifi, you know what I'm saying, he's out there in is it 19th place? Vettel in 20th place, by the way. Holy smokes, that Aston Martin, clearly not good. Clearly it's not ready. Q3, Pierre Gasly in the top 10. Look up to Pierre Gasly. Obviously, he got bumped into that because he didn't actually make it to Q3 because of Perez's situation. But of course, the two Mercedes, I mean, what happened? You know, both George Russell and Lewis Hamilton absolutely binning their cars to the side. However, George Russell somehow, you know, qualified in 4th. Hamilton in 9th. I mean, once they hit their cars, once they wrecked their cars, that was it. It was done in terms of Q3. But yeah, it was quite a dramatic, you know, it seemed like the accidents didn't seem to be, you know, quite dramatic. It was just a bit, in terms of the impact, it became more than actually what it was. And so, you know, it cost them dearly, unfortunately. Although Russell's P4, it's not bad. Hamilton P9 behind Alonso, behind the two Haas as well, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin Magnussen, Mick Schumacher in Q3, you know, 6th and 7th, they're starting today in the sprint race. So it should be very, very interesting how this race takes place today. It's going to be very, very action-packed. It's going to be jam-packed today for sure. But yes, Charles Leclerc, you know, he looked like the man who was on form all day today. Yesterday, he looked like the one that was going to put it on pole. He did put it on pole, and it was like, you know, all right, here we go. The Ferrari are back on top. They're here to challenge Red Bull. And then out of nowhere in Q3, it's weird because they were doing sectors 1, 2, and then 3. In sectors 1 and 2, it was showing yellow on the graphics, meaning Mr. Verstappen wasn't even doing his personal best. So it felt like, you know, Charles Leclerc's going to be on pole, and that's that, right? You know, Verstappen hasn't gone quick enough, but it went from yellow, and then it went to like purple. Was it green even? It went to green, and then it was like, yeah, he's on pole. And I'm like, wait, what? He's on pole position? That is outrageous. Like, how has that happened? And the crowd, the roar of the crowd, ladies and gents, it was unbelievable. It was absolutely epic. The way the Dutch fans, you know, all the Max Verstappen fans basically absolutely roared once he took pole position right at the death. It felt like a football game. It felt like an absolute football game full of ultras, you know, full of the tifosi, if you will. But yeah, no, Max Verstappen, phenomenal lap. And on the radio, it sounded weird because it didn't seem like it didn't sound like it meant it, you know, it didn't feel like he really, you know, struggled to get that lap in or whatever. It felt like he did it as light work, which is what I thought was very, very strange. So salute to Max Verstappen, putting that car in pole position with a 1 minute 04.98, whereas people were getting in the 1 minute 05s throughout the session. So it's going to be a very interesting start. You know, we will see how Charles Leclerc gets going in the start of this race today. The sprint race is going to be very interesting. I have a love-hate relationship with the sprint race. I like it, and then I feel like it either goes a bit too long. You know, I feel like, is it going to be like 17 laps today? I can't remember, but it's a bit too long for me. I wish it was like a good shootout for like maybe 10 laps, and it's always 10 laps and you're done. I just feel like it drags on a bit too much. It feels like a race and then it ends abruptly type of thing. So yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind having qualifying on the Friday. At least it gives you something to watch on the Friday as well as the Saturday. And I'm sure if you're there live, anybody that's gone to the Austrian Grand Prix live, I'm sure they're pretty happy to see, hey, there's all kinds of racing going on with qualifying on the Friday and sprint on the Saturday, race on Sunday. So that's the take, ladies and gents. Max Verstappen on pole ahead of the Austrian Grand Prix. Let me know your thoughts. Who's going to win the race today? Who's going to win the sprint race today? Who's going to win the race itself tomorrow? Let me know your thoughts. It's going to be a very, very interesting weekend. I can assure you of that. There'll be more drama, more things to unpack in this title race, and of course over this weekend. So people, Max Verstappen on pole, Charles Leclerc second. Those are the front two to start tomorrow. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be tantalizing, if you will. Those are my thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Comment your thoughts in the comment section below. I told you Max would get pole, and he did. With that said, people, until tomorrow when we discuss the sprint race, it is lights out.